and you should receive my invite. There we go.
Hello, how are you? I told you, girlfriend, it was going to be a little rough for sister.
No worries, no worries. I'm glad you're here. All right, so people are coming into the room. All right, so peace and love, family. Greetings from Plant Medu Nectar. I am your host, the truth. And we are serving Medu Nectar divine speech here. And yes, Medu Nectar is your live reality of high science, food conversations. And this will benefit you and your family's healing and wellness journey. I'm so excited, y'all. I'm working on catching my breath right now. Okay, so we're diving into holistic health, agriculture, human ancient sciences, and modern ways to heal yourself. So, komo mai, welcome, beloveds, welcome in the room. I'm so excited for you all joining us. We have our special guest, Dr. MElanie Stevenson. So, thank you for your hearts. Let's put some hearts for MElanie, Dr. MElanie. Show some love. Tell us where you're coming from. And now, before we start, I want to take a moment of silence for Dr. Llaila Africa for living 74 Black years and leaving blueprints that will further our future so we will not be fooled on this planet. So big shout outs to Dr. Llaila Africa. I know his spirit is with us. And so, so we thank you. We give honor, Ra and Ashe to Dr. Llaila Africa. All right. So Dr. MElanie Stevenson, it's good to converse with you. I am well. My spirit is well. How about yourself? How is your spirit?
I am doing amazing, and I'm doing amazing because I know my husband is with us, and I am just ready to do the work. So I really appreciate you bringing me on, and you look so vibrant, and I'm just vibing off that good energy that you're definitely sending the sister right now.
Definitely. Hey, we are mirroring each other off the good energy and the good vibes, and I'm thankful, and we have a torch setter. We have a woman with a magnificent background. So will you tell us about your background, Dr. Stevenson?
Sure. Again, my name is Dr. Stevenson, and I'm the wife of late Dr. Llaila Africa, who I am standing on the shoulders of. Okay. Without him, my knowledge would not be anywhere where it's at, and I still have work and ways to go. Okay. I have been a holistic practitioner, with what you would say official certified for over 20 years, but I started practicing at 14 on my father. And I started at 14 with the first small edition of holistic, African holistic health. And my dad actually went to go see Dr. Africa when I was 14. And there was a lecture there, and it was only 3 people that showed up because it was a snowstorm. And my dad was having problems with his leg, and he said, I said, Dad, I want to be your doctor. And he was like, only way you can be my doctor is if you read this book. And that just tells you how everything comes full circle. So I believe this is what I've been born and bred for. I'm a licensed massage therapist. I have a lot of different licenses behind me. However, I was born to be a healer, and I'm just going to stand and walk in that.
Okay. All right. So we greet you, Dr. MElanie, for taking the time out to fortify yourself and then coming back to fulfill that legacy of your purpose and also the purpose of Dr. Llaila Africa, and for us to gain control physically, emotionally, and psychologically, on this planet. So a little bit of background of the knowledge I have today. So about 9 years ago, I came across the panel discussion following the gathering of the Metaphysical Masters 2000 conference. And it featured Bobby Hemmett, Audrey Scott Williams, Reverend Valentine, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, who's behind me right here. I shade to Dr.
The
Khalid
great
Muhammad,
one. Yeah.
the honorable Muhammad. All right. So it featured Dr. Llaila Africa, the Conscious Rasta, and Henry Bernardo. So that's how I am here today. After watching that video, I literally followed in those footsteps. So for those of you who just came in, I am your host, The Truth of Plant Medu. We're with our special guest, Dr. MElanie Stevenson, and the spirit of Dr. Llaila Africa. So this conversation has to do with the importance of raw foods, the importance of detox, and last but not least, the resurrection of Black health by way of physical, emotional, and psychological. So we're in a military situation. We've been in a military situation, and those who are in power have been military minded and using tactics as they know, fighting, causing confusions, and and we all know that whether we're conscious or unconscious of it. We have a lot of clients that deal with this situation, and most of our clients can't buy water. They can't buy real water that doesn't say chloride on the back. We deal with people from the projects. Some of us get paid in food stamps. I've been paid in food stamps. We deal with people that come from the projects, that come from the hood. So we keep it, we keep it on that level. So, I don't always tell people to eat raw. Some people are so down in the gutter that they can't eat raw, and they have to bring their liver and their body to a certain condition. Do you believe this facade of just going straight raw and turning to veganism? Do you believe that is a setup of not knowing how the body works and just jumping on a bandwagon? What's your take on that?
I think that eating raw is a good thing. However, I don't believe it's for everyone, and I don't think everyone is going to be able to do it. And so I try to meet people where they're at. Okay. And so if you have the awareness and if you have the awareness and the knowledge to do so and the resources, then I would say, great. That is something that is really good for your body. Raw is really good. Raw organic is really good because you can be eating things that are raw and they can still be sprayed with pesticides, but you got to do the best you can in this jungle in which we live in. Some of us don't know how to eat raw. I didn't know how to eat raw when I started my journey. Had no idea. I was I was eating steak and I was eating, I was going to restaurants eating McDoodle. I was doing the worst. I just got to keep it real. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
And I started little by little. So once I started to learn more, when they say when you know more, you do better. Okay. And so I just, for myself and what I see in the people that I help, I tell them, for my meat eaters, they say I can't stop eating chicken. They say I can't stop eating meat. This is for this subset of people. I tell them, okay, if you're going to eat meat, try to cut it down and not eat it every day. Try to do it maybe like 3 times a week, and substitute it by eating greens and eating ground provisions. And you might make a stew or something like that has vegetables in it. You just give them a good way to make a transition in their eating. So it just depends on who you're talking to. And if you have a mouth and you live in this world, you got to be eating something. And so I just try to encourage people to make the best decision that they can make, and knowledge helps you to make good decisions. So eating raw, yes, but are we still combining our foods correctly? And a lot of people that eat raw, they might eat, like say for instance, you have some people that eat a lot of juices. They juice a lot, eat a lot of sweet fruits, and you have to be careful eating a lot of sweet fruits. There are a lot of things out there that are non-sweet. So we just have to make sure that we keep that balance. And for those of us who want to make the transition, some people say, I don't eat meat, but I eat fish. But if it has eyes, it's meat. I know, a lot of people feel like, they'll tell me I'm a vegetarian, but they eat fish. The real science behind it, if it has eyes, you understand that that is actually meat. So I think that raw eating is amazing. And I think, yes, you know, it does a lot of good for the body, but I still believe you need to take your multivitamins and minerals. And I still believe you need to take a plant-based protein when you're eating like that, because it's not enough in the foods to give the body the nourishment that it needs. So that's my take on that.
All right. All right. So we're back to dealing with reality. You know, we are I'm in a position where I have to teach people how to shop at Walmarts, at Raley's, at Dollar Trees, bargain
Yes.
stores. You
Okay.
know, and these are stores where there probably ain't no nutrients in the food, you know,
Correct.
most likely. But we have to deal with what the reality is. And
Yes.
you have to have wealth in order to have health in this, you know, this society. So, uh, you know, we are given what, you know, we're taking what we're given. So my thing is, what is an important factor when you go to the store personally? What are you looking for?
Well, what I teach is that you have food and then you have non-food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Food gives you nutrition. Okay? When you eat really good nutritious food, it helps you to think. It helps your cells to be clean. It helps them to be able to reproduce themselves. It helps to build healthy tissue. And so they tell you to go around the perimeter of the store where you see the produce. Okay? And so when I go into a store, it's very rare when I go into a center of a store. I do go into the center, but I'm very intentional when I do that. I know exactly what I'm looking for. So I tell people, even if you're shopping at a Walmart, you know, or if you're shopping at a Dollar Tree, they still have frozen vegetables there. Okay. And if
Okay.
you go there, sometimes they'll have like green beans in a little bag. Sometimes they'll have corn in a little bag. They'll just whatever, wherever you're at, just try to go and first search out the vegetables. Okay. Whether it's frozen or whether it is optimal if it's fresh, but sometimes we can't do fresh. So if you have frozen vegetables, then you get those frozen vegetables. Okay. The next thing is to be understanding of what's food and what's not food. So some of us, they put the macaroni and cheeses in our face. They put the canned spaghettis and stuff in our face, the oodles and noodles and stuff in our face. And sometimes that is what a person eats on a daily basis for food, but it doesn't give us nutrition. Okay. And so the a knowledge of it, you can go get an apple. You can go get apples. You understand? I know that there's a desert, but there's also food out there. Okay, if you know what you're looking for. So I just tell people to look for. You can get a potato. You understand what I'm saying? You can get cabbage, right? Cabbage is
Right.
accessible. Is it accessible where you're at?
It sure is. Purple
Okay, so
cabbage, green head cabbage.
that's nutrition. You can get that
Okay.
cabbage and get you an onion and get some garlic and cut it up and put some good old seasoning on it and be ready to smack somebody. And the body's actually feel like it's been nourished, but you have to also be careful of putting salt and sugar inside your food. So holistically, we have to bring it all together. So when I'm looking for foods, I'm looking for green leaf. To be honest with you, I'm gonna just let you into my life. This morning, I was gonna
Okay.
get some ginger root because that's my
Ooh.
crack. I love me some ginger root. I like to eat it raw. As a matter of fact, I got some on this table right here, and I'm gonna try not to eat it on
What?
this video interview. Okay?
Look, you do what you need to, Doc. You do what
Okay.
you need to.
But when I went into the store, I looked and they had a fresh. They had just had a truck come in with fresh produce. So I got my dinosaur kale, I got my collard greens, I got my rainbow chard, I all the good stuff. I got cucumbers, I got bell peppers. All these
Mm.
things don't cost a lot of money. I mean, to be honest with you, my collard greens was $2 a bunch.
Ooh.
Okay. And so I got, I probably spent on my whole grocery bill and I got 5 bags of groceries out of a Whole Foods, believe it or not, the
Wow.
365 market. I think I paid less than $75, but I have enough food to last me for a week and a half. You understand? So I
I
make my greens
understand.
and then I freeze it. You understand? And then when I'm ready to make it, I just take it out, thaw it, and then I eat it. So it's just having the knowledge of how to prepare your foods and what to look for, and introducing things into your environment that you're not used to. You understand? Sometimes we'll look at a food and we don't know what it is and we're afraid of it. You understand? And
Yeah.
so you got all these green leafy vegetables. You just cut them up. You understand? And you just put your little seasonings to it. But when I say seasons, I'm not talking about salt. Okay? So I'm just going ahead.
Yes.
They don't have to
Yes.
assume that Dr. Stevenson is saying that. But I use
Okay.
bouillons. I use vegan bouillons. Okay? You have to be very careful of that because it has salt as well. But I just take a little sliver of it and I put it in the pot to give it a little bit of flavor. You understand? So there's a lot of ways. There's so many seasonings out there that you could actually put inside your foods for it to be good and you to get nutrition. And if you start eating like this, you don't have to worry about obesity. You get obese when you eat non-foods. So if it came in a bag or if it came, it's a lot of people like to do the frozen dinners. That's not nutrition. And we're giving it to our children. And we're expecting our children to get good grades. And you get mad at them when they running around because you didn't gave them a bag of potato chips. You didn't gave them some junk food and they going crazy. And you like, my child is bad. Well, you did it. You gave them food that wasn't nutritious. So we have to be more responsible, not only for ourselves, but how we treat our children.
Wow, that is major. That is major, doctor. Yes, that is the great answer that I'm looking for. So, eating is a spiritual thing, and with melanated people, but unfortunately, we have made it into a slave master situation. So making food and sex into a slave. So it's key to understand that we are in a military situation and they do use food as a tactic to manipulate and control people. So are you aware of the tactic that started in 1946 under Clinton Anderson? Um, if so, will you elaborate on that?
I do not. Enlighten me.
Okay, so these documents are in the Hoover Institute and Stanford University, and it's from the United States Business Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And just like Dr. Llaila Africa told us, we are all a part of United States Business Corporation. We are their
Correct.
business. So
Correct.
in 1946, this is when they started using food as a tactic to, cloning foods, Frankenstein foods, and things like that. So my favorite quote from Dr. Llaila Africa is, "Before you can be spiritual, you have to eat." So that is the year they started cutting off those those food advances as far as using tactics. So we just have to realize our objective in eating and the importance of reuniting ourselves to our ancestors and giving us power. That's the whole point of us eating food. It's a spiritual relationship that we have, and we give it to God, we give it to nature, and in return, we receive it in that way. So, yeah.
I would like to, I am familiar with what you just said. I'm so glad that you were able to explain it. You jarred my memory of exactly what you
Okay.
were talking about, and I appreciate that. I would just like to say this. We talk about not having enough money for food, but we make poor choices with the money that we have. A
We
lot of
do.
us are buying clothing. We are putting things on our body. We think that our hair is more important than what we put inside of our body as far as nutrition is concerned. So we have to look at what we're doing as a whole. And sometimes we might have to divert where we're spending our money to put our nutrition first. Because I see a lot of people who look good and then they talk about they have no good foods to eat. And all I say is maybe you should take the designer shirt back and just put on a nice cotton shirt and go pick you out some good vegetables from the store and feed your children some good nutritious food. We want them to look good, but we don't want them to be healthy. We have to change how we see things because they program us by watching TV, these video games. You're walking down the street, you see billboards. Everything is to keep us away from ourselves. So we have to turn back and say, this is a village mentality that we need. We need to have a tribal mentality because we know families make tribes. Tribes make villages. And so we have to go back into the village and say, okay, wait a minute, village. Let's figure out exactly what we're going to do as a whole now. So when you go back to your tribe and your tribe makes up a family, you have to look in the cabin and you say, okay, what am I feeding? What am I feeding my family? What does this tribe do? And we have to start making standards for ourselves. You understand? We can't let somebody else make a standard. They can't say, ooh, you need this Big Mac, or ooh, you need these hot fries. It's like, no, that's not healthy. And this is not going to make my tribe strong. So you said this is military, right? So if it's military, you must think military. If you feed yourself junk, then you will be a poor quality soldier, and they're going to keep on kicking our behind.
Yes. Yes, that is so true. I thank you for acknowledging that. And that brings me to I believe it's a DVD or a book that Dr. Llaila Africa, you created, and it's called Dying to Look Good.
Dying to Look Good. That's right.
Dying
It's
to
a
Look
video.
Good. So, okay, it's a DVD, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe you touch bases on fibroids and uterus removals and relaxers, creatine, implants, weaves, Viagra, muscle milks, makeup. So
let's talk about it.
So there's various aspects of beauty, fitness industries, and this is emotional effects and daily pressures to be accepted in modern, society. And I'm a millennial, so what messages are we able to pass to my peers who are worried about the pressure to be perfect and how to redefine beauty?
Well, you each one teach one, but you first need to be one. And it is so interesting today. I was so excited to come on your live, but as you can notice, Dr. Stevenson doesn't have on any makeup. Okay. Dr. Stevenson is wearing her natural hair. And this is the way I look today. Okay. And so I didn't feel like, oh, I'm looking a hot mess. Let me stick something around my head. I said, well, just let me look how I look. You understand? Dr. Stevenson has dark circles around her eyes because I am mourning. And so we need to see what life really looks like. And you try to be the best version of yourself that you possibly can. That's what you do. But right now we're in a situation where we're teaching young people that if their hair doesn't look a certain way, then they're not beautiful. If your booty ain't popping out and, looking all good, then you know what, you don't look good. I mean, and a man's not going to want you. If you don't have your breasts hanging out, you're not attractive. But my beauty comes into my brains, and my daddy taught me that. Okay. It's not because your body changes. Okay. But we have to start being that so that we can show it to other people. So many people are afraid. Like if I don't have like I'm a makeup artist by trade. You would never know it by looking at me right now. Okay. Because all I do is make sure my face is exfoliated, and then I have a moisturizer on my face, and I put on lip gloss. But anything besides that, I'm getting some major feedback.
You get some major feedback?
You're pausing? I don't know what just happened, but something. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm barely hearing you. Did something just change in your background?
Am I back?
Okay. You're back. Okay.
All right.
So I just hear something loud in the background, but it's okay. So all I'm saying to you is that we just have to try to be who you are. The world wants you to look like somebody else. They want you to look like a Beyonce every day. And I think it's disgusting. You're supposed to look like you walked out of a magazine 24 hours a day. Some people actually go to sleep looking good and wake up looking good. And I commend you. But God made you perfect just the way you are. And these young people, if they see a Black woman with, just looking natural, then they can say, wow, that's what I look like. And they can aspire to look, normal. But right now, that's not what they see. And unfortunately, we are, we're kind of it's noise. So I'm trying to fight through it, but it's a lot of noise in my ear. We have to get to a point where we help the children say, this is what, you look in whatever you did is perfect. Can you hear me? Say something. Say something.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you paused me. Very good. Okay, so I'm sorry, everyone. Please forgive me. But all I was saying is that we have to get the young people to where they feel comfortable in their own skin, But if they're looking at everybody else and they're made up, then they feel uncomfortable with looking the way they came here. And you came here the way God made you, and we just have to celebrate that. You know, if your hair is kinked, then celebrate the kinkiness of your hair. You understand? If your skin is dark, celebrate, you know, the sun kissing that skin, that melanin that you're wearing. So I am so this is close to my soul because I have nieces and nephews, and my niece, when I go to see her and she's 9 years old, she's like, Auntie, we look alike, don't we? And I say, yep. She's like, look at our braids. So at least she can feel comfortable about who she is because she sees that her auntie is very much so the same.
Wow. Yes. Yes. That is great. Yeah. That dying to look good. That is is that DVD available?
It is. It is.
Okay.
As a matter of
Okay.
fact, I think it's on LlailaAfrica.com, which is our website,
All
but I
right.
could be wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay. Because all right. Because I believe I tried to get it, but everyone, I actually pinned www.LlailaAfrica.com on the comments. So this is where you go get all your books, your supplements, and we'll go into that a little later as well. So go to that pin. I have it pinned, the website of Dr. MElanie Stevenson and Dr. Llaila Africa's website, so you can get what you need to be above the rim on this planet. So yeah, great conversation. I'm enjoying this. To everyone who just stepped in, this is Plant Medu Netter. I'm your host of Truth. And so, Dr. MElanie, environmental issues, air quality, cloned people, cloned animals, breathing in toxins from other people around you. We have radiation, Frankenstein foods. How the hell are we still on this planet?
You know, we like baby kids. We don't die, we multiply. They've been trying to kill us so many ways. And I know they like, damn, how are these niggas still here? Because we possess something that you don't. You understand what I'm saying? We are strong people. We are strong just with nothing in us. We come here strong. You understand that? They are actually giving us stuff. They're actually trying to have us take stuff for us to be weak. And with all the stuff that they're giving us, we're still walking around here. And I think that they're just perplexed. But we're here to stay. And we're going to come together. And we're going to have one mind, one thought. We're going to start making decisions for ourselves and for the collective. We're not going to have somebody telling us, like sheep, go do this, go do that, eat this. We're not going to do that. We're going to say, you know what? This is what's good for us. Eating green leafy foods is good for us, melanated people. So that's what we're going to do as a whole. And so we just have to get on one accord. And I don't worry about the air that I breathe because I got some strong lungs. You understand that?
Yeah.
I try to control my environment as much as I can, but there are certain things that you cannot control. But one thing that you can control, for those of us, social media is a beautiful thing. But sometimes we take our cell phones and we go to sleep and the cell phone's right by our head. Okay? Or some people sleep with the cell phone on their chest. You understand what I'm saying? Massive radiation. Optimally, the village and our tribes people and our families, we're calling for you to, when it's time to go to sleep, cut that cell phone out. If you don't cut it off, get it away from you when you're sleeping. You understand?
Get it away, turn that Wi-Fi off.
That's right. Turn the Wi-Fi off. And some people cannot do that. But for those who can, do the best that you can, be more aware. And since we're talking about air quality is very good. So why are we smoking? Why are we smoking? If we're talking about the radiation and the pollution that's in the air around us, why are we putting anything willingly in our lungs? Gotta think. That's another thing to take us out of here. And we think that taking it in our lungs, you know, it makes us more of whatever it is, spiritual or whatever. And I'm not knocking, I'm not shooting at no one. I'm just trying to tell you that we have to take care of ourselves first. We got to make good decisions for ourselves first. So if you want good air quality, that surely you wouldn't smoke. Surely you wouldn't want to be around anybody that smokes. Surely you wouldn't want your children in an environment where there is smoke. So let's just deal with the things that we can deal with. That's something that we can do. You understand? You can't go outside and be like, I want some good air. You know, you can't do that. But you can put plants in your environment to help get more oxygen in your air, put plants in your house. And I'm going to bring I hear my husband now saying, you just tell them to stop just getting them nice looking plants. Start planting your food. We're going into a whole nother awareness now. Because sometimes when I go in the grocery stores now, I can't even get what I want. If you can start growing some of this stuff in a pot in your house, try to start doing that. I know it sounds like, we're in a day and age we don't need to do that, but we do. You can control what you're eating if you grow it yourself. And I see people in New York City with no land whatsoever that grows a lot of food. So I know no matter where you are in this world, you can grow your own food.
So true. I remember Dr. Llaila Africa saying that you can make your own soil, put it in a garbage bag.
That's right.
And make your compost, grow your organic foods, and if you so happen to get evicted, you can take it with you.
Now that's keeping it all the way real.
So we have control over this, and I know you touch bases on the air quality and the chemtrails and all of that. And some of us, especially millennials, the weed smoking is popular. It's a trend. It's a so quote unquote gateway, but there's other, ancients that talk about gateways where you don't have to smoke weed and trees and all of this, eat it.
Eat it. That's right.
Eat it. Okay.
But people don't want to eat it. They don't want to eat it. And we don't understand that there's chemicals in this weed now.
This new weed.
It's this new weed.
It ain't old weed.
No. And I've never smoked weed before. So, I mean, you can tell by my conversation a little bit where I start going off the rails. So just keep me corrected. Because, I mean, I have a family member to be like, no, that's not how I go, auntie. Like, no.
I'll keep you on it. I'll keep you on it.
But the things that I do know is that they're putting chemicals inside the weed to make you crazy, to alter your cell, the way your cells reproduce inside your body, to keep you confused. You understand? And so it's not the same. A lot of these young people are going crazy after having or smoking marijuana. You understand? That didn't happen back in the day. You got a little happy, a little chilled out, relaxed. Now you're just trying to figure out what the hell just happened to me and how come I just feel anxiety. And when you don't have it, you feeling like I have to have it. It wasn't like that before. It was recreational before. Right now, it's I have to have it. It's as an addiction. Does that make you think, maybe this is not the same stuff? But if an OG don't tell you, you would never know.
So true. And now they have the clubs where they're controlling it. They're controlling what's put in there. So that's a big thing for those of you who are on the tree and the fire and all these different names. Be conscious of what you're doing and just eat it, if you can. So, we see today drastic changes in young girls and young boys. They have dysfunctional prostate issues. How important is knowing what you eat affects our reproductive systems?
Well, I can tell you this. When you talk about the food war, it is purposeful that they have soda, pop, whatever you want to call it in the school system, that they have candy that can be bought in the school system, that you can get potato chips in the school system. A conscious, educated person knows that a child eating high sugars, salt, and processed foods brings poor brain function. Okay? Wow. That's first and foremost. So if it's giving you a poor quality thought, it's going to give you poor quality sperm. Because let's just go to the basics. Cells make tissue, tissue make organs, and organs make organ systems. So if you are giving the cell of your body, because every cell eats, and you're giving them bad food, and that cell has to make tissue. So that means you getting a poor quality cell, making poor quality tissue, and that tissue makes an organ. So you have now a poor quality working organ. And so then after you get the poor quality organ, then that organ makes a system like the immune system, the reproductive system, the respiratory system. You have a poor quality system that cell is made. So this is intentional. So the things that you eat bad, you have to think that you're feeding every cell inside of your body. So if you're feeding every cell inside of your body processed foods, sugars, salts, you understand that? It's only going to make poor quality cells, tissues, organs, and organ systems. This is easy, but you got to teach children. But to teach a child, some conscious adult must know it. That's why we have to have the thought process of having tribes and villages. The people that are listening, my brothers and sisters that are listening, village that is listening, tribes that are listening, go home and teach your grandmother, your grandfather, your nieces, your nephews. Pass the information down. You're here listening to us, so you can go and liberate the people that you're around, because we probably will never meet them. But they know that a people that are come together, it's a dangerous people. You understand? If a whole lot of us get together and we start getting the babies and we playing with them, we say, look, did you know that, I know you want this sweets, but did you know this right here will make you have no teeth? And they're like, no teeth? You teach some little kids. And did you know if you do it for a long time, you're going to end up being blind because it's going to take the sugar from your eyes? And did you know if you keep on eating those sweets, you probably will not be able to have a baby because it causes infertility? Ooh. And guess what? For the guys, did you know that Uncle such and such, he's bald headed because he ate so much sugar? We have to teach. So then when they look at the sugar, they're like, oh no, I don't want to be bald like Uncle such and such. I love him, but I want hair on my head. They can make a conscious decision. I want to have a baby. So I want to give my reproductive system the best environment possible, so I'm not going to make this bad choice, because this is what it does. It goes down to education. Each one, teach one. We have to teach each other. So you are so powerful for what you're doing right now. You are so powerful. I just want to tell you that. Ruth the Truth. And everybody that you're touching. And everybody that can see Ruth the Truth and they can see what she's doing, she is reaching out to the other people. The people that you actually talk to, they have families. So you're not just talking to them, you're talking to their families too. That's where the power, that's the military. You make a good damn general and you continue to do it. We trying to raise the generals. Come on. We got to raise the energy here, because we are in war. We are in war, but we can win this. Just like we win basketball games.
Yes. And oh man, you hit it. And thank you. I received that to the highest degree, Dr. Stephanie. And Dr. Melanie, I don't know where Stephanie came from. There must be a person. I can be
Stephanie too, baby. Don't worry. It's okay.
Dr. Melanie Stevenson. I know what happened. Stevenson and Melanie, I put them together and made Stephanie. That's what happened. Okay.
Look at that Melanie. That creativity, I'm telling you.
So since we're laughing and happy, we're no sugar and sweets, and this causes the inability to receive and to give love. We know that sugar does that. And do we? So more than ever today, we need love. We need emotional stability. So we need that for our children, for our relationships. So what is your take on our parents, our grandparents, using candy as a congratulation tool? It's important to find something to replace that, so, giving them candy to say, hey, you did a good job, or what is your take on that?
Well, my take is this. We have to realize when we're thinking if it's a slave thought or if it's a free thought, okay? We're all trying to be free, okay? But we all come from some point of colonialism and how we see things. And so we were taught that if you give if you come to a family gathering and grandma got a sweet potato pie, and she put the love in the sweet potato pie, and you eat the sweet potato and then you get the love of grandma. Instead of grandma saying, come on over here, baby, and let me give you a good old big hug, and you so beautiful, and you remind me, giving that relationship is that love. And instead, what we're doing is we're handing out candy to each other in different ways. It might be a sweet potato pie over here. You might say, you know what, it's so good that you got an A on your paper. Here, I'm going to give you this bag of potato chips, and I'm going to give you this sucker. Or they might like, a Snickers. Here, you're teaching them that when they do good, this is something that they can do to reward themselves instead of sitting them down and say, you know what, that was awesome. You getting the grades that you got. What do you want to do together? Celebrate in relationships. But with social media in the world that we live right now, we are so far away from each other as far as that one-on-one connection that we have with each other. And we've replaced it with a lot of things. So yes, it is dysfunctional to give someone something sweet, and that is the way that you express how you love them. Tell them, I really love you. Thank you so much. It really touched my heart that you did this for me. I'm really so excited that you got your grades. You are intelligent. See, this shows that you can do anything if you put your mind to it. That's when you give them the encouragement. You build them with that. So when they get to be adults, they already have that reinforcement. They're not looking for somebody to tell them how powerful and how great they are, because you've been telling them the whole time. And I promise you, this is coming from my daddy. My daddy said, you don't have no one has to tell you that you're smart, because I'm telling you you're smart. Now act like it. Understand? Make smart decisions. And when I make smart decisions, he said, now that was smart. But when I make dumb decisions, he said, Daddy don't think that was a good decision. You think that was a good decision? He wouldn't beat me upside my head. What made you make that decision? And he talked to me. He gave me that relationship. And that's what we have to give to each other. And because we're not getting it, that's why we're starting to eat bad. That's why we have obesity. That's why we have drug addiction. That's why we have sex addiction, because we're not getting that relationship that we need with each other. And some of us don't even know how to give it. So you have to learn. If you don't know how to be intimate with yourself, then you cannot be intimate with someone else. So we just have to take inventory of who we are and where we are in life, so that we can be the best representation of ourselves for other people. I hope I didn't go off. I'm
Indeed.
sorry.
Oh no, we
I be
need
going off.
a pop
I'm
off.
sorry.
It's pop off
I'm
time.
sorry.
It's
Okay.
pop off time, and we needed that, because we need replacements. We need to know these things, and that was very, very needed. So I'm going to curve into the medical field.
Okay.
So in the medical field, we have blood pressure numbers, we have Western medicine.
Mm-hmm.
How accurate are those numbers, and how different are our bodies compared to other cultures that have a lower melanin count? Are we all associated with the same pH test and mathematical numbers?
Well, Dr. Africa wrote the textbook of African holistic health.
Mm.
He also wrote the book Holistic Self-Diagnosis, and I bring that up for a reason. That's the book. And do you have holistic self-diagnosis beside you?
Let me
Look
get
at
this
that! Look
little
at that!
thing
Look at that!
right
That's gonna be an equip. In that book, Dr. Africa teaches us, and melanin. Do you have melanin beside you? Because if you don't, I do. You got
here.
melanin?
Ooh, let me see this one right here.
Now look, let's give it up right now for Ruth the Truth. She's showing you that she's full of truth. Okay. What I want to say to what your question was, if you ask someone that has a medical degree and has been Europeanized with their information, they will not understand what you're talking about. Dr. Africa is a very well learned African American male who's been all over the world, who has researched a lot about us as melanated people. Okay. Blood pressure is not the same for us as it is for them. However, there is very little information out there for you to actually grasp to understand it. So Dr. Africa was just trying to bring forward that we as melanated people, by the time they tell us that we're close to having hypertension, which is high blood pressure, we already have it. You understand?
Hmm.
Because their numbers are based upon another subset of people that are not melanated. So when it comes to being diabetic, I have people all the time telling me, you know what, I went to the doctor and my numbers are in normal range, but they're peeing a lot. You understand what I'm saying? They're having dry skin. It's presenting itself inside of them, but they just think they're attributing it to something else, but it's actually the person having diabetes. But if
Hmm.
you take the test, they look like they're within a normal range. So by the time they tell us that we have high blood pressure, or they tell us that we have diabetes, we've been diabetics for a long time. You understand?
It's
Because
too
it
late.
is not, and I always,
well, not too late,
I,
but
I try to be careful with the too late, sis. But this is why I say that if you're
okay.
breathing, then you're fighting.
All right.
You don't stop fighting until when that breath is gone, there you can't fight no more. Okay? And you can
True.
always I like to teach people that there's a normal range. And once you start coming outside of that normal range, you may never become normal again. But if you come back to where health is and health is here, if you're here, you still feel a lot better. You understand that? So just changing some of your habits may make you feel better, but just giving you an example. You remember when you were a child and you could run and you could take your leg, you put it around your neck, and you could just do some incredible stuff. As an adult, there's a lot of the things that we did as a child we can't do right now, right?
Right.
You know, a lot of us don't have the flexibility. A lot of us can't do the things we did as a child. But if we start to change our dietary habits and we start to eat differently and we start to work on our foods and say, hey, this has a lot of salt in it and this is going to affect my blood pressure, so I'm going to lower the salt intake, and I'm going to not eat salt. I'm going to put maybe like some celery inside my foods, or you're going to just do a lot of assisting in what you're eating. You start to feel better, then that's progress. That's progress. You understand that? But if we wait, everything that we do, we just say the white coat has to tell us. We call it the white coat. The white coat tell you that you don't have high blood pressure, but you're getting all these headaches. But you don't have high blood pressure. You understand what I'm saying? But you just ate some salty potato chips and it just gave you a headache. Is that a coincidence? You understand? Or you could be really angry and got an attitude problem, and everything is pissing you off. You understand what I'm saying? And your blood pressure is going crazy. And the white coat tells you, no, your blood pressure is normal. Just you're okay. And then next thing you know, you have a heart attack or a stroke, and you're like, I didn't know. Well, you've been showing signs of it this whole time. So that's why we need to go into holistic medicine. We need to acknowledge the fact that grandma and grandpa and the medicine people in our family, they weren't doing voodoo. They weren't trying to kill us and bury our drawers in the backyard. They was actually trying to help us. And they stopped demonizing natural holistic health. They demonize it. They don't take no herbs. Well, no, I don't be messing around with no herbs, But they take herbs and they mix it with chemicals, and then they call them pharmaceutical drugs. But it's okay then.
So y'all, in the power and science of melanin, is you can really gauge what your levels, your melanin potency is. I remember Dr. Llaila saying in an interview how to balance and see where your melanin levels are. If you sit down and get your blood pressure, and if you stand up, you can gauge your melanin. If you sit down, you can gauge your melanin number. So make sure you go to this link that I pinned, www.LailaAfrica.com, and there's about nine books. I was watching you and King Simon. Y'all got 9 books on there. So it's
you did the count for me.
It's 9 books. Y'all get these 9 books, okay? Get those 9 books.
And can I add to that? The holistic self-diagnosis. If you pick that book up and show him, please. That book has it's in the close to the end part of the book, but it has a table and a chart in there of blood pressure. So say you take your blood pressure and your blood pressure is 160/90. You can actually go to the chart in the book. Once you know your top number, your systolic number, and your diastolic number, and your pulse rate, it'll actually tell you what's going on inside your body. So it's not just, my blood pressure is high or my blood pressure is low. It actually means something. And that's why we also teach the holistic nutritional counselor course, so that you can be equipped and educated, not to only be able to help yourself, but to be able to help other people too.
I'm a raw. All right. So, this may be my last question, it may not. I'm going to see how the spirit moves.
Okay, let's see what we got going on.
So, preventative health. All right.
Mhm.
As a millennial, many of our parents and grandparents are stuck in their ways.
Mhm.
And when it comes to eating habits and cultural foods, they don't
Mhm.
see nothing wrong with the pig feet and the fish fries and the smothered chops.
Mhm.
I've ate all of that before. My dad was a
Mhm.
hunter, and we've been through that. And
Mhm.
I remember you saying on an interview, everyone has a right to kill themselves.
Mhm. Dr.
And
Africa said that.
oh, Dr.
Mhm.
Africa, excuse,
Yeah,
sorry, Dr.
I
Llaila
repeat,
Africa,
I
you repeated
repeated
what
it.
it. Look, I don't want to get struck down. Sorry, Dr. Llaila Africa. Okay, okay. So, everyone has a right to kill themselves, and a person has to want to be well. They have to want it. So, what messages are we able to relate to my peers for those who are having major health issues, and they are not for changing in their ways? How important is it for us to stand for how we treat ourselves and not get offended by our family members that say, hey, I don't want that, or I don't want to try that?
Okay. Well, like you say, everybody has their individual right to make their decisions. But what I'm trying to raise the awareness is to go to your family members and say, I love you so much and I don't want to see you sick. So I want you to
Mm-hmm.
be careful. They might be eating pig feet in your face. Okay. And you say, you know what? You got high blood pressure. You're eating things with a lot of salt. I just want you to be around. So just try to like lessen your salt. You give them love and you give them compassion and understanding. And you let them know that you're not making this decision just for you. You're making it and it's going to affect me too. And so we just start loving each other in our wrongdoing. Because I've said this and I say this a lot. I take care of my mom. My mom has had a stroke and an aneurysm. And my mother called me every night asking me for a sucker or,
Mm-hmm.
something sweet. And she says she want a pop. My mother calls me every day still now. She calls me every day. But right when I'm meditating or I'm asleep, my mother called me 3 o'clock in the morning. What you doing? Can I have something sweet? And my mother has had a stroke and aneurysm laying in the bed. And I say, Mom, we're gonna do is I want you to after you eat tomorrow, I'll give you something that will, make you feel like you've had something sweet. You understand? But it's gonna be healthy for you. And is that okay? And she'll cuss me out every day. She'll tell me I'm grown, I'm 80, and I can't believe that you would tell me and try to control me and tell me what to eat and what not to eat. But because I take care of her,
Mm-hmm.
and she can't go to the grocery store, I
Yeah.
have a little bit more control over what goes in her mouth. But when someone else has full control over what they eat, then you just have to try to give compassion and love to them and just say, you know what? I understand that some people say, I'm not giving up chicken. I think I ain't giving up chicken. Don't try to get me to give up chicken. I eat chicken every day. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to eat the chicken every day, that's fine. Just try to eat chicken and vegetables. Don't do the chicken and rice because it makes you bloated. You understand? It causes intestinal issues. And they're like, I'm bloated right now and I ain't had a bowel movement. Well, if you just, just try to eat the chicken with some vegetables. And you know what? If you're going to drink something, don't drink and eat at the same time. I got to drink and eat at the same time because I got to wash my food down. While they're doing it, you're still giving them the information. And then you just pray one day that the information that you gave them, they'll just wake up and say, I remember you telling me that I shouldn't be drinking and eating at the same time. And I was feeling so bad last night. I thought to myself, I'm just going to not eat, meat every day. Maybe I'm going to start to eat it a certain way. And for all of the righteous ones who know how to eat correctly, when you're making food, take it to some of your family members and say, try this. See if you like it. They like, I don't want to try it. Just take a little bit of it and see if you like it. And when they end up trying it, they're like, this is good. And you're like, yeah, this is good and healthy. And you can tell them how you prepared it. And you can take it for your, all the holidays because you got holidays coming up. So just try to make the healthy dishes and take it with the people that's eating pig's ass. There's Dr. Africa will say it. You understand what I'm saying? But, you got to love people through their changes. You have to remember, I don't know, like I say, I wasn't born a vegetarian. My parents weren't vegetarians. I didn't know anything about it. I really didn't come to the truth and knowledge really of how to eat, what to eat until I met my husband, Dr. Africa. And he actually taught me like I was an infant and he nurtured me until I caught on. And so we just have to have that same nurturing ability and spirit for the ones that we love and our friends and our coworkers.
Yeah, that's so true. And you touch bases on people knowing how to eat. We eat eaters, healthy eaters. There's laws and spirituality in eating.
Yes, it
And,
is.
ideally we should be eating raw foods, but most of us don't know how to chew, not knowing, not chewing when you're talking, not eating when you're angry, not rushing eating your foods. These are
Mhm.
food laws that we need to be aware about. So I thank you for touching bases on that. And today, there's about 10 different types of fast out here,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
us true fasters, we know that there's only one type of fast, and
Mhm.
that's not eating.
Correct.
And
You cannot have food in your
you
system. That's
cannot
correct.
have food in your system. Everything else, in my definition, is called a diet. So, if you are drinking water, it is not a fast.
Correct.
People are not aware of that. They say, oh, I'm fasting and drink water and eat mints, and it is not a fast. How important is terms today and research today?
It's very important, but realistically, a lot of people aren't researching. And so we
Mm.
need people like Ruth the Truth to get on and cut her mic on and start to help people to gain knowledge and understanding where they may not have time or they may not have access to finding what real truth is, because there's a lot of foolishness out there. And
Yeah.
so that's a jungle all by itself. It's a war just trying to find the truth about what to eat, because some people will tell you opposite of what we're talking about right now. So some people say, what do you mean drinking water is not fasting? They don't know any better. So I think that being aware and being knowledgeable and reading, I think that is the highest level of being able to research and doing your due diligence. But we're in a day and age where people like to Google and they like to use Wikipedia, and
Mm.
we need to understand you need to know the source. You need to know the source, because I'm gonna share with you. I used to research with my dad when I was little, and
Mm-hmm.
my dad, I would tell my dad, "No, I read this. This is what it said in this book," and my dad said, "Fools write books."
Ooh.
Okay. And
Ooh.
so you really need to understand when you're trying to look for information, research the person that's actually giving you the information. You
Mm.
understand? And you should not only hear it once. A lot of the things that, like for me and Dr. Africa, we would always say when you're talking about health, the things that we talk about, you should be able to look in a science book and find it, really. The confirmations are there. You can say it in a lot of different ways. However, that at the end of the day, I should not be telling you about the human body, and it should be information you've never heard before or that you can't confirm by opening up a book. So yes, researching is, to me, it's imperative. It's imperative to be able to go and to research and to find what you're looking for, but you must know what you're looking for. Okay. And sometimes when we knocking on a door, we knock on the wrong door.
Mm.
So it's just having the correct ability to disseminate. This is what I want to know about foods. And I actually had a thought for you. I'm sorry. I got to reel back. I
Oh
challenged
well.
you one time because you're a vegan, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I challenged you one time to go on live, and I want you to put your meal on live while you're eating.
Okay.
Okay?
I sure
I want
will.
you to do that because it's so empowering for you to do that. So that's how you educate people. You are a vegan, okay? You're not talking about a mythological concept. And you say, this is what Ruth the Truth eats,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so you can encourage people to start where you're at.
I
You
sure
understand?
will.
You're going to be the gateway for a lot of people who want to be vegans to actually know exactly how to start it.
I'm
Okay?
glad. I'm so glad you said that because I have a cookbook called Easy.
Oh,
It's called Easy
oh,
Transformation. And in this cookbook, I reference Dr. Llaila Africa. I reference Dr. Delbert Blair, Dr. Jewel Pookrum, and these are people that I reference in this book that I have taken courses with and that have taught me on my wellness journey. So these are for people who, are transitioning. This has vegan terminology in it. It has things to look out for. So get this book, y'all. It's actually, some percentages off. And I also have my apron Mahalo Soul Chef apron for those people who want to
All
get in the
right.
kitchen. So those are in
Where
my
do you get it
Instagram
from?
store. And actually, if you go to my Instagram store, and then
Okay.
I have my website, www.zionlifestyle.com, and it shows you my background. I have different herbs on there as well. And you can get my cookbook, my Easy Transformation cookbook. So I thank you for that. Was spirit right
That
there. That
was
was
amazing. I want the
that
book.
was
I'll
spirit.
definitely buy the book.
I
Okay.
am going to send you this book. I sent one to
No,
King
I want to buy
Simon.
it. I
Okay.
want to buy it because let me tell you something.
Hmm.
I really appreciate how the time and the effort that you actually, the energy that you have inside the book. And I believe in Black business. I believe that we have to patronize each other.
Yes.
When I tell you my soul is convicted by that, so I'm going
Hmm.
to actually go onto your website right after this live and I'm going to make my purchase because that's
Wow.
me sewing into the village. You understand? That's
I
that village
understand.
mentality. And I want to ask everyone inside this live, if you do not have Ruth's book, please today, will you sew into this sister's life? Because she's really just trying to make us be well. Can you go and get her book? Can you give her encouragement? Can you tell her, well done, Ruth? Thank you for trying to lead and guide us. That's the way you say thank you sometimes. You go back and you patronize people who try to give you as much of their spirit as they can. So I'm going to do it, okay? And I encourage everyone in this live. And if there's someone else that is not on the live, just tell them, I know a young lady who has a book and she's actually introducing veganism in her book. And I would suggest that you get it. And you can say, see, I have one. And so when you get her book, take a picture of it and put it on Instagram. We have to
We
start
have to.
lifting each other up. We have to start doing that.
We have
And
to.
so that comes from my soul to
Hmm.
yours. I support you and thank you so much for supporting me and lifting up my husband. I really appreciate that. And right now, I just want to give my husband energy. I just want to give him
Yes.
energy and tell him I love you so much and I'm doing the very best that I can and I hope you can see it and just please just stay with me. I want to do that live because this
Yes.
is it's my soul's desire.
Mm.
So Ruth, I'm excited for you.
Yes. And I
Job
feel
well
that.
done. Job well done. And you continue. I encourage you to continue because you're doing amazing, amazing work.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And we feel Dr. Llaila Africa, and we thank him for his services and the torch that you're leading. We're thankful for that you took time to see how to do everything and yourself. And I mean, you got them supplements on lock. You got them supplements on lock, and we are so grateful that he had you do the work. He had you on the plantation.
Yeah.
He had you doing the work just for us today. So, he already knew, he already saw it. And so we are glad that you are back, and more
Thank you.
services are coming into play. And we know that a very experienced face reader can tell the fortune, they can tell the current luck, they can tell the health and spiritual conditions just by looking at a person's face. So will you elaborate on the offerings that you have right now? We have some offerings of face readings, y'all. This is powerful because she read my face and she didn't even know it was my face.
I didn't know. Did you see what I said? I said, I think you're wherever it's at. I wish I was
And
there.
you was right. You was right. You
Well,
was right.
that is something that Dr. Africa, that's the first thing that he really impressed upon me. He said, when in doubt, if you just understand yourself, if you can look at a person, the eyes are the window to the soul. Just like the person can see out, you can see in. It's just that
Mm.
we're just not paying attention to what we're seeing. And so, our class and what we teach is that you can read the face, you can read the tongue. This is what our ancestors did. This is an ancient old technique. Nobody has the copyright on that.
Mm.
I believe that God has a copyright on it because he everything that's happening within us. When you get a stomach ache, it's just a warning system. But if you want to play, you want to do some reading, Ruth. You want to do some reading?
Yeah, let's
You
do
want to do
some
a couple?
readings. Let's
You want to do
please.
some?
Oh, thank you,
Don't
thank you,
look.
thank you,
Don't
thank
call me
you,
out now.
thank
I
you.
got my telephone right here. I
Yo,
just like to do
y'all,
them. I
y'all,
just like to do them.
let's do it. I was just hoping and praying. I was hoping and praying you said that.
She didn't ask me, but
Look,
I'm like,
look,
let's
look.
get the
Hey,
ring.
y'all, this is very powerful. I am juiced right now because you are able to send your picture to Dr. Melanie, and we're going to do a total of 3 people, 3 readings. And
Okay.
I don't want to give too much of your energy away, but
Okay.
we can do three readings. You can Dr. Melanie, tell
Are
them
we
what they
doing
need
them
to do.
together? Are we doing it together? Because Ruth, the truth. She really is the truth.
I
And what
can
I'm doing, Ruth can do it. Okay. I'm just gonna have to just throw her out there like that. But so we doing it together. You want me to just how we doing this? You
let's
want me to
let
read them?
I want you to read them. I want you to read
Okay.
them, and I
Okay.
feel spiritually if I need to tap back on some things, I could
Okay.
feel around.
We gonna tag
We're
team.
gonna
That
tag
sounds good to
team.
me. Okay, so the telephone number is, and she only said the number 3. So the telephone number is 440-915-2432. I need a picture of your face. And you know what? If you like, give me a picture of your tongue. Face or tongue, or face and tongue. The first 3 people, 440-915-2432.
All right, y'all. I pinned it in the comment section. And thank you, Gypsy Goddess. Thank you for those who are reposting the number. I'm excited for this. This is what I've been waiting for this whole
We got the lucky
time.
number
We
3.
got the lucky number 3. All right, so y'all, if y'all need some guidance to where you need to go, to what you are doing right now, send your picture, your tongue, your face to
and
Dr.
I'll
Melanie.
and I will read it. And I like doing this because it
Yeah.
helps people to just know, you know, how impactful the spirit is that you have, that you can look at someone and tell what's going on with them. We all have
Hmm.
that ability. Melanated people, we are very powerful people. We just have to tap into the power. And I just want to
Hmm.
put it on showcase to say, look, I'm melanated and this is what I can do, and you're melanated, you can do it too, and you can do it, and you can do it. I just want to, you know, express that this is something we all possess if we cultivate it within ourselves. Okay, I got some images here.
Yes, thank you all.
All
Thank you
right.
all. Let's do it. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
So I have an amazing, beautiful face in front of me, and I always give the last 3 numbers of the cell phone, the number just the last 3 numbers, so you know who I'm actually reading. 615. All right. So I am looking at a beautiful young lady, and I can tell you that health wise, she needs a cleanse. She needs to clean like take your cellular cleanse. Okay. I don't know what you've been needing. She has beautiful skin though. She has very vibrant looking skin, but I can just see some areas in her colon area. I can also see some that are her kidneys need to be cleansed. And this person, she's a very emotional person. I think she's full of life, but she's very emotional. Okay. I would also say that she's iron deficient. So it would be nice if she got some raw beets and ate raw beets because that would help her iron levels. What else can I see from this beautiful woman? I also see that there is blood pressure that runs in her family, so that
Mm-hmm.
she really wants to be conscious of eating things that contain salt. She may not have high blood pressure, but it's definitely mom, auntie, somebody has high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants to be very conscious of really trying to not ingest that, because that's something that she might be able to face. Okay.
Okay.
And let me see spiritually what I picked up with her. There's going to be a lot of change for this young lady. You got a lot of positive changes coming. And I know that sounds very vague, but I want her to start focusing on herself. She focuses on other things, and I want her to focus on what she believes in, because actually, whatever you focus on is going to manifest. So if you manifest on good things, it will be good. However, if you manifest on something that's not good, it will also manifest. Okay. So, this lady is a very deep lady. Like whatever she says, she thinks 10 times more than what she says. So I'll just leave it there.
Okay.
615. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
You're number
615. We
one.
appreciate you for taking
You're
that
number
that
one.
bold move into your
That's
wellness
right.
journey.
That's right. And that prospers her next year is going to be a lot of money for her. 055 is next.
055.
All right, 055. Thank you for such good pictures. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so now I'm looking at another beauty, and I'm gonna tell second, okay, 055. I'm sorry about that.
Number
055.
055.
Thank you. I don't know if do you eat a lot of carbohydrates? Because this person looks like they're eating a lot of carbohydrates or things that convert to sugar. Okay. So I want them to really pay attention to that. I need them also to start taking blood purifiers. They need to clean their blood. Okay. And also, I'm looking, let me come close to her reproductive system. So I think this person might have heavy cycles. You understand? I would like them to just start cleaning their system out. So be very conscious of what you're eating. So if you're eating a lot of breads, a lot of sugars, start eating a lot of more green leafy vegetables. Okay. And in this person, I see a lot of sadness. Okay. I see a lot of sadness. And as a matter of fact, I see sadness on the maternal end. Okay. And so this person right here, I just want them to meditate on goodness. I want them to send good energy. And I don't know if it's their mother. I don't know if it's their grandmother, but I see a lot of sadness on that side. So it might even be grieving. This person might even be grieving. Okay. So I want them to just take some time to themselves and start doing a lot of deep breathing. I want them to start doing a lot of meditating just to get the stress out. This person holds a lot of stress and a lot of grief, okay? And I send this person right now good energy and tell them everything is going to be okay. You'll be fine, sweetheart. Don't stop stressing and worrying because this person is doing a lot of worrying. But everything will definitely be okay.
Amen Ra. Teddy, how do we send the photos? I have pinned the number down below, 440915242. I told doctor to only do 3, and it's looking like look, y'all.
Ruth the Truth. Well, I have one more, darling.
Okay.
And so, I have another beautiful picture, and this picture is from 103.
103.
And when I tell you a woman with beautiful skin, your skin is absolutely amazing. When I read this picture, I tell this lady that she has to be very careful of diabetes. Diabetes definitely runs in her family. She has to be careful of sugar. I'm also seeing that she doesn't digest foods well at all. So I suggest that she takes a digestive enzyme. And you get the digestive enzyme from like the vitamin shop. You can or you Google it and just take the digestive enzyme before you eat. You have to watch food combining. So what's happening, I think this person has to be very conscious of eating, proteins with vegetables and eating carbohydrates with vegetables and not eating protein and carbohydrates. So no meat and potatoes type of a diet. What else I see in this lady? Let me see the other picture. She takes such beautiful pictures. I would put her on a blood purifier as well. And I see stressed kidneys in this lady as well. And going through a little bit of a hormonal change. She's very nice and she's very sweet. When she needs her me time, she needs her me time. So I know this person really, she's social until she can't be. So also what I see in her, this person has a very strong spirit. Okay. I see the ancestors when I look at her. She has a lot to offer. And what's coming to me is almost as if a lot of people come to her for counseling. And like, she tries to help a lot of
everybody.
People. Just make sure that you keep some of it for yourself. And there's a lot of goodness coming from her. And when I look at her, I want to know does she lean towards? Is she closer to her mom or her dad? Because I'm looking at her and it looks like she's closer to her mom. I know the dad's in the picture though, and I know she loves her dad. I'm not asking her to pick, but I see her as being like a mama's girl, or as her mother's side of her continence is more distorted. So she has more of her mom on her that I can see right now. Her dad is more stable, is solid, or whoever the male figure is in her life is very solid for her. So she has a good balance.
And what last 3 numbers is that?
Her last 3 numbers is 103.
103. That was for you. 103.
103, and I'm coming closer to her. And she is so intuitive. 103, you know it before it happens. And trust your first mind. You could be talking to 103 and you could think you're fooling her, or you could be saying something to her that's not true. She knows what you're saying is not true. She's very, very, very intuitive. So the last thing that I will say when I'm looking at her tongue is that her stomach is stressed. And I think that has to do with the way that she's eating. I really think she needs to tighten up her what she's actually ingesting. And so I will leave that for 103. And I got so many. Look, I got so many after
Lord. That. Well, y'all, yes, this live, I will save this live. And we have one question. Is there a way outside of the live to get a reading, please? Yes, it's sure. That's a great question, Magic Hands. So when you go to Dr. Llaila Africa's Instagram, she has pictures of the services that Dr. MElanie is offering. She has pictures of them, and they are on sale. She's still doing the Black Friday sale, y'all. So
it's real black.
It's real black. So get it while it's hot. Get it while it's hot, y'all. All right. And go ahead, Doctor. Go ahead, Doctor.
I actually have if you go on my Instagram, there's a flyer with a link. And there, I will read you it's $100, and I'll read either your tongue, the face, and something else. It's 3 of them. You have a choice. But generally, what I'm doing with that reading, I want to do it live, which is really cool. So when you send me the picture of your face and your tongue, then I will connect with you on Google Duo, FaceTime, some method like that where I can see you, and I'll actually start reading you live. And then once I get done reading you live, I'm going to suggest one supplement to you, and you actually get that with the reading. So that's what I have going on for Black Friday as far as my readings are concerned. So it gets really intimate when it's me and you, and I'm actually giving you a reading. I'll say things that I won't say, in this setting.
It says, how does one's emotions affect their ability to digest food? And that was from Oya. Oya, I remember the live.
Is that my girl?
That's
Oya?
your girl, Oya. This is the girl, Oya.
Okay, let's raise the roof for Oya. Hey. Well, Oya, you understand that when you get emotional, say if you're sad, that expresses its way through stress. And when you're stressed, the digestive system turns off. And so if you're eating foods and your digestive system is turned off, then you're not digesting food the way you should be. So that's when people start to get sick. It's not that the body is not functioning correctly. It's that they're under so much stress that the immune system and the digestive system is turned off. It can't digest the foods properly. So that's why we have to really properly understand sadness, even being too happy. Have you ever been like and having such a good time and trying to eat at the same time? Sometimes you just have to stop and calm yourself down, right? Before you start to eat the food. Or if you're crying You're not trying to sit in front of no food. You actually lose your appetite.
Mm.
So yes, emotions have a lot to do with how your body and the quality of how your body digests foods.
Amen Ra. And we're going to structure this real quick. So we're going to we have one more reading to do.
I did
One.
3. You want me to do 4?
Oh, you
You want
did
me to do
3?
4?
Okay, let's
I
do
did
4
3.
because someone says,
Okay.
can you do a man, please? We got a little we got a little
Okay.
man.
Okay
We
then.
got
Okay. Let me. Okay.
and after we
I'm
do
looking
that
for a man.
reading, all right, after we do
Okay.
that reading, we have 8. I see 8 questions in my. I see 9 questions in my box. Dr. Melanie, do you have time for some questions?
I do, but you know what? I'm looking for a man. I'm looking. I got a guy. I got a guy.
All
Your
right.
number is ending in 504, my little handsome melanated man. I'm going to
504.
read. That's right. So when I look at 504, who is a very handsome man, I see, and first thing I see that jumps out to me is stomach issues. I also see it would be his right kidney. Okay. I also see, I don't know if he's drinking a lot of water. If you are drinking a lot of water, I want you to put just a little bit of juice in it so that the water can stay in your body long enough so that it can be seen as food. Okay. So either he needs to drink more water, but if he has beautiful skin. So if he's drinking a lot of water, I just want him to put a little bit of juice in it so that it can stay in his system long. Okay. He has diabetes that runs in his family. He may not be a diabetic, but he definitely has family members that are diabetics. I also see on the right side of it's his lungs, his right lung. And you are so emotional. Okay. Everybody want an emotional man. 504, he emotional. Okay. He's really like very kind. A very kind person. And he's also full of joy, but I also see a little bit of tears behind you. There's something going on with you, and you need to start talking about it. Okay, something's going on with him, but I think that he's holding it in. You know how some people will smile, but it might be something bothering them, but they're wearing a smile. He has a very nice smile, but I can see that he's worried about
He's
something.
holding back.
And so now when I also look at him, his digestive system does need some help. So that means he has to watch his food combining. Make sure you're not drinking and eating at the same time. And everyone already knows that, you know, if you're drinking alcohol or, you know, if you're smoking, this kind of stuff will show up on your pictures. Okay. So just be conscious that the body, alcohol turns into sugar, which we have to be very careful of. Sugar dehydrates the system. And so when I look at him, I actually see where he has just a little bit of yeast. And I think it's from something sweet. You're ingesting something that has to do with sugar or sweet. And I also see, do you have back problems, 504? I'm seeing something in like the middle part of his back that he might want to start doing some stretching. Making sure you have good posture is very important. And I guess the last thing that I will say, because as I start reading, I could just continue.
I know you're going to go.
So, you know, I be going in, so just give me a couple more seconds.
So y'all know how beneficial that face reading for $100 is. So y'all go to it, get to it.
Yeah, you know what? I believe that things are going to start opening up for this young man. You understand? I think that he's been waiting for breakthroughs. I really believe that his life is going to take a very positive change. Make sure that you're intentional with what your next steps are, what you want them to be. Because I just see someone who was in like a shell. I see them actually coming out of their shell. And this is what I actually want to just give him energy to say, you know what, that's right. Just be a little bit more social. Just speak the things in existence that you want. Go for the things that you want. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid of failure. So that's what I would say in this, you know, superficial reading that I'm giving here right today.
All right.
So,
what was those numbers?
504.
504. So
he's handsome and he got some nice skin. Mm,
Ooh,
nice
504.
hand.
So you got what you needed.
He has
Was
to be
that?
careful of his heart too. Be careful of your heart. I
Mm,
know that's a throwaway, but this is something that is in his lineage. Is the heart,
okay. All right.
and I'll just leave
So,
it there.
okay, Dr. Melanie, that was great. That was great. So, did you get the face I sent you?
I don't know. I got so many faces. You just sent me one.
Yeah, I sent you one.
Let me go. Let's see. Okay, I think. Let me see. Are you ending in 879?
Yep, that's me.
Okay. You want me to read
This
this
going
face?
this gonna be the last face, and we're
Okay.
gonna go to questions.
Spiritually strong. Spiritually strong. That's the first thing I see.
Hmm.
Spiritually strong. Like I feel like I'm looking at someone who is like a shaman, or someone who's like someone like if you really, how you can call somebody and ask them for advice, and they can put you on that right
Mm,
path. I feel the vibration from this person that you sent me, okay? But
okay.
as I read this space, I see that this person needs a blood purifier. They need a cellular cleanse. They have to start
Mm,
cleaning their body. Um, I can also see such kindness. I see that they need to work on their colon area. I also see they need to work on their kidneys. They need to work on their kidneys. And I feel like this person is looking through me. I feel like they got something to tell me. um, so health wise, I see a little bit of issues with diabetes. I do see
mm,
that. I see that just watch the sugar intake, even if it's fruits. Be careful of it. You
mm.
understand? Make sure that it's balanced. And there's so much more that I want to say, but I just can't.
All
I
right.
like to stop it there.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate that, Dr.
Hmm.
Melanie. All
Hmm.
right, y'all. Face readings, books, supplements. I put the pin down there, www.LailaAfrica.com. We have the Holistic Self Guidance. This is the bang. Everyone should have this in their home. All right. Get this book. We also have the African Holistic
The
Health.
textbook, the
This is
textbook of African
the
Alexa.
textbook of African holistic health. Now, this is my guide to what everything that I know. All right, I call Dr. Llaila Africa and Dr. Melanie my professors. They are my professors. All right. We also have Gullah African American History. This is also one of his books. Okay. And this is for all of you who have children. No, for y'all who have children, it's this one. Controlling and understanding and raising black children. All right, I mean, this is guides to not spanking your children, how to communicate. I know we say, oh, don't talk back don't talk. Well, that's how you communicate, talking back. So this is a great guide to raising teenagers. Even talking about snacks and replacements for snacks. Okay, childhood diseases, remedies. This is a good one. All right, now y'all who have children who thinking about doulas, all of y'all who's in that practice, this is a great one for you. All right. We also spoke about the power of melanin. This right here, for those who say their melanin is popping and y'all don't got this book, y'all need this book, all right, to understand how it's popping. Okay. We also have Nutritional Destruction of Black People. This goes deep into the medical field, the medical industry, all right, and also the medications, okay, and the point of dis-ease and wellness. So this is a great book as well. For those who want a great vibrating home, all right, the sage just ain't enough. There's structures that you can put, there's things that you can put in place to have your home a good, sanctified home, as they say, okay? So it's called per Ankh, and it's the science of getting your home in order, all right? So Those are the books. There's another book that has
Pills for
the
every
pill.
ill that
That's the
can
one.
kill.
And you know my
Booyah.
cousin. Yep, my cousin. She graduated, and I gave her. She graduated as a doctor, and I gave her that for a present. So if you could you show that in the
Sure,
camera?
sure, sure.
The pills for ills. All right, so that talks about the medication that kills. All right, go
As the
ahead.
FDA, if the FDA actually says that this doesn't work, he is just
Wow.
citing what the FDA says. So that's a major thing. And for those people who want to have remedies for diabetes and high blood pressure, and if you want to take a cellular cleanse, we also have supplements as well as Ruth the Truth. Go look at her herbs and what she has to offer for the human body. So the information and the resources are out there. I just want to let
Yes.
you know that if you do want a reading and you want the cell reading, you must get it from my Instagram. It is not on my website because it's temporary.
Mm.
So that's the difference. But you can go to LlailaAfrica.com to get consultations. But I'm sure Ruth the Truth is doing consultations too, right?
I'm doing consultations for Private Chef, and also
Okay.
I want to dive into tongue readings, but I want to get some more understanding. I want to actually
Okay.
be in the game for a minute
Okay.
to do that
Okay.
spiritually and edifying. So for now, y'all go hit up Dr. Melanie. We got oil on here. There's many people, but
Yes.
it's good to get someone that you can trust and someone that you feel comfortable with. So Dr. Melanie is someone I trust and feel comfortable with. And like she said, on Instagram, that face reading, tongue reading is on her Instagram page. So if y'all go to her Instagram page, y'all get that deal. It's not on the website. What's on the website, www.llailaafrica.com, the supplements. Oh man, we got supplements for blood pressure. Dr. Llaila Africa and Dr. Melanie, she puts these together. There's no
I do.
fillers. There's it's
Hmm.
capsule and
Hmm. And powder.
powder. She
Hmm.
puts these together herself, so she knows what's in it. She actually
Hmm.
uses these for decades.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the supplements on there, what blood pressure
We got
cleansers.
we got stuff for blood purifier. We have
Okay.
things for blood pressure. We have things for vitiligo skin.
Mm.
We have things for viruses. We have things for
Where
hormones.
where
We have things. We have 28 different supplements. And Dr.
Wow.
Africa actually put these supplements together because it was what plagues us as a culture. It's things that you can't walk into a store and get.
Mm.
So he actually put the formulas together. And what I do is I take his formulas and I mix them exactly the way he told me to. I've always been the one that mixes the formulas, and there are no fillers,
Mm.
zero fillers. So whatever it say is in that bottle, that's what's in the bottle. So you're getting a very potent formula when you get it. And I take them every day. I can't live without it, and it really helps my health and my well-being. So I just wish everybody good health. And if you don't get it from me, it's okay. There are other people out there that have supplements. Just get out there and start, exploring and trying to give your body nutrition that you can't get from potato chips.
Mm. So true,
I
Dr.
said potato.
Melanie.
I'm being facetious, but that the chicken is not going to give you. Go ahead and take some herbs. You know what I'm saying?
Red clover,
I promise you
dandelion
what.
root.
That's right.
Get them, get
Echinacea
them.
gold seal.
Echinacea, go
That's
seal.
right. That's
Well, what
right.
you do, and everybody has a herb store in their area. I know
Yes.
there's the GMCs and stuff, but if you use Google like you use Google everything else,
Please don't do GNC for health stuff.
please,
If you're a
yeah,
muscle, yeah, if you're a muscle builder, then that's a different conversation. But if you're going to buy some health
you
stuff
need
and it's for the larger commercial places, please, go to someone who deals with health foods, a health food store, a vitamin shop. You're going to get a
Mm-hmm.
better quality when you get it from there. If you want to get things that are specialized, you can come to us. We have herbs. There are other people out
Yes,
there that have herbs. So I just try to make sure that everyone just get a chance to get out there and see what works for them. But please take something. And if you buy
please,
it, please put it in your mouth. Because if it's in the
please.
cabinet, The cabinet is healthy, not your body. I've had some people
Girl.
say, you know what?
Girl.
It ain't work. I said, how many you take? 2. Okay. Well, I understand. You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of take it for it to work. And they start laughing. Okay, Dr. Stevenson, I'm going to be a little bit more responsible. You got to take it. You have to take it.
I came home and my mom had the same spirulina that I bought her last year, and I had to try to not get hot. I tell you, I had to really talk to my spirit, you know. But yeah, take those herbs, take those things. So, Dr. Melanie, I know we got a lot of your energy out here. We had a great talk and things. We have some questions. Do you want to dive into a few questions, or what?
You know
How
what?
do you feel?
I'm at service. Everyone that's on this live, I love you so much. And if I can help in any way, if anything that I have that I know that I can give, my heart is open because you all have given me so much love. I just want to give back, and they're helping me to give back and make me feel good and make me feel like, you know what, it's time for me to do my purpose. So this goes both ways. So sure, you can ask me questions, not a problem. I pray I can answer them. Let's see what you're gonna ask me.
All right, let's see. What can I do about thyroid problems and Graves?
Okay, so we have
Okay.
actually a thyroid supplement that you can go on LailaAfrica.com that will help you out greatly. However, we have to figure out what you did to your thyroid. Thyroid disease generally happens from a person who is eating or not sleeping. A person is always in go. You know how some people have the disposition. I got to do this. I got to do that. They have all this stuff that they have to finish, and then they don't sleep, and then they get like 2 or 3 hours worth of sleep a day, and they've been doing that for a long time. You can burn your thyroid out like that. You can also take kelp for your thyroid. You have to also watch eating foods that are high in acid. Eating a whole lot of acid. You should only have 20% alkaline, 80% alkaline and 20% acid inside your diet. So we got to go back and look at what have you been eating. You understand? So when we have a food chart that is inside, I think, health dictionaries. And when you look at that, we have an acid chart. It's the most acid, more acid, low acid, and lowest acid side of a chart. And sometimes people eat 100% that. And those foods can
Hmm.
burn out your thyroid because you're out of balance. So without me knowing about you personally, I would just tell you to get the book Health Dictionaries or get a consultation so we can figure out exactly what you have been eating and what your lifestyle looks like. You understand what I'm saying? To bring your thyroid back into balance. But like I say, you can take kelp. We have a thyroid formula, and getting plenty of rest is definitely something that you can do as well.
Great, great. All right, we have what do you recommend for MS? Now, MS I'm knowing for menstrual cramps maybe, but maybe you know some another MS, doctor.
Multiple sclerosis.
Sclerosis. I'm not
Okay.
sure, Carolyn. I'm not sure what you mean by MS, so we're gonna have to clap back and send your question. Um,
Okay.
it says, "Thank you for your love, sisters. Do you teach face and tongue readings at cost?"
Let me tell you something. I am so glad you said that because I was trying to hold it in and I said maybe I won't say it. But guess what? I do. If you want me to do it, I can just teach you nothing else but just how to read a face.
Hmm.
Okay? I
That's
can
good.
teach you nothing else but how to read, the hands. I can teach you nothing else but how to just read like the ear. So yes, I definitely want to do that. And how you read the tongue. You might not have the wherewithal or want to know how to do the whole body, but yes, I can teach that. If you want that type of a course or a session, can you please let me know? Will you please text me at
Hmm.
area code 440-915-2432 and say, Dr. Stevenson, give me your name. I'm interested in just taking this so I can learn it. I need a certain amount of people to be able to teach it. I would like to have at least 10 to 15 before I actually teach that type of a course. But yes, I will do that.
That's
Or you
amazing.
can
I'm
even email
glad.
me, drmelanie16@yahoo.com. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thanks.
Email, phone, and I will actually put that number and that email in the comments so you all can get the necessities that you need. So we're here for you all to do it
Yes.
yourselves. We
Yes.
want you to do it yourselves. That's why we're so
Yes.
adamant about it. So
Yes.
the next question: I haven't produced any milk and have been giving formula to my 8-month-old. Is there something I can give her instead of cow milk? Ooh.
Or yes. Well, what I would tell you to do is go to the health food store and go get you some mother's milk tea and start taking it. Okay. And help your milk production. And for your child, what did she ask? What type of milk was she asking
So
about?
she's giving her formula. She's giving formula to the 8-month-old. So the formulas has a lot of starches and a lot of oils and things. So is there something she can give instead of the cow's milk? She's giving her child, her 8-month-old, cow's milk and formulas.
Okay. Okay. So the alternative that you can do, and this is for everyone. Did you know that the health food store actually has formula that is healthy, a healthy formula for a child? Go into your I know Whole Foods have it. I don't know where people are located, so I'm gonna say health food store because what I might have near me, you might not have near
Mm.
you. Go to your nearest health food store and look for natural formulas for your child. It may look different. I don't want to give you anything specific because you may not be able to find it. So go into your health food store and look for natural formula for your child, and it's out there. It's out there. So yes,
Okay. Ooh, we have some questions. Doctor, are you ready? Are you ready for
I'm
this? All
ready.
right. Does food affect the way in which men and women respond to you in terms of courting and relationships? And I would say yes.
Okay, okay, so wait a minute. Let me see if I really understand what they're asking me.
Okay.
So you explain to me because what I just heard, you understood it more than I did. What are they asking me?
All right. So they're asking you what you eat. So say if I'm in a relationship and
Hmm.
I'm eating hot Cheetos and chicken
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
starchy foods
Hmm.
and things all day where that can alter my mind.
Hmm.
Does the food, do those foods expect the foods the ones that are
Do
affecting
they?
how I respond to my partner?
Okay. So if you got a vegetarian and a meat eater, can
Exactly.
I bring it
Okay.
to the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it to
Am
the
I there?
table. You
Okay.
there? You
Okay.
there?
Okay. So I mean, if you have a person like myself and you try to have someone come to me that eats meat and want to, be in a relation, that does not work. Meat makes you aggressive, first and foremost. I understand that. And so when someone tells me that they're eating meat or they drink alcohol just a little bit, just occasional, 'cause that's what I hear all
Hmm.
the time. You know, if you're a person that does not drink, if you're a person that does not eat meat, you tend to be a little bit calmer. And so, yes, that can bring conflict within a relationship just because of what it does inside the body, how it makes the body feel, how it makes the body react. So I would say yes, what two people eat. That's why when you're in a relationship, it's really good to get somebody that's kind of like you may not be the same, you understand what I'm saying, but you guys are kind of like complementary pairs to each other. It's okay for somebody to do something that you don't do. You can't say, I don't know, you better not be doing this. If you love them, you'll say, you know what, it's not
Hmm.
something that I wish you to do. Or for me, I have a lot of people that I have as clients, and they tell me I had a bad day and this and that. And I'm like, well, what did you eat? And I was like, well, I had a
Hmm.
steak. Well, okay, you had a steak. I said, so you thought that steak was gonna make you happy? But you gotta teach people what foods do and how they can mentally, um, how they alter your state, because they do. And it's not a myth. It really isn't a myth.
So true. All right. And one said, do you mind if I record? Hey, go ahead, record. This is for you all. This is for you all, and I will be saving this video as well. All right. What do you think about growing your own food? Do it. Grow your own food. That's what we think about it. Grow your own food.
Root the
Self-sustainability.
truth.
Self-sustainability. Should we go to school, college to educate ourselves in this information? Well, some of this information is westernized when it gets to the school part. So I would say take Dr. Llaila Africa's and Dr. Melanie's holistic health course. that they have right now, and that's the best school you can get going. What are your takes
And
on
you can
that?
also, yes, and I believe that if I have formal training in certain things, but my knowledge did not come from my formal training. It just didn't.
Mm,
You understand what I'm saying? It actually came from reading books from people like Dr. Africa, Dr. Benyakanan, the
mm-hmm.
compensatory. I learned it from
Yeah.
all these different places.
Mm,
And so it didn't come from a university. It didn't come from, I'm not knocking people
yeah.
who are in universities or have those type of degrees. I'm just telling you, for my personal, where I've come from, my awareness came from my profession and me doing, and me also learning from people who were great in the field.
Mm, all right. We have what does it mean when you begin to develop dry skin around your eyes? Is that a sign of kidney disease? I know the bottom of your eyes is the kidney area. Will you expand on that, doctor?
Yes, and you know what? One thing that I want to express to everyone that's asking questions. When you ask a question, it's like we need more information. I can do my
Yes.
very best with the limited amount of what you're telling me. But if I was to be able to talk to the person one on one, I would be able to really hone on to like a holistic approach of what they're asking me. So when you're talking about dry skin around the eyes, the first thing I think about is dehydration. I think that they need to get a lot of water inside of their body, okay? That their skin is actually dehydrated. I also think about, sugars and salt dehydrate the system. So this is like a crime scene, and I have to figure out like where the crime happened. But because I only have an eye and it's dry, and I don't have the person or the picture to look at, I'm just gonna say be careful of like eating things high in sugar, high in salt.
Mm,
Make sure that you're not going through a very stressful situation, because stress can present itself like that as well. But it's very limited what I can tell you because I can't see you.
mm-hmm.
I don't have, you understand what I'm saying? So I hope I
Exactly.
was able to help you. So yes, the kidneys actually deal with pressure. Okay. And so if you're under a lot of stress, you understand, and that's what I'm talking about with the stress, the dryness. Have you ever gotten any stress where you start itching? Do you know what that's like?
Hmm.
Truth to truth. Have you ever
Start
been like
start
that?
itching. More so like yeah, I remember there was a time I was in college and I was stressful and I would itch around, it'd be like rashes, but
It's just
I
your
would
nerves.
yeah, okay, it's my
It's
nerves.
your nerves. And so me too. Okay, so if when things get very I've had a very stressful year and a half just trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out and trying to find my balance.
Mm,
And let me tell you something. I'm well decorated in my skin because I've scratched myself up just my nerves. But I understand that I had to come back to balance, come back
mm,
into prayer. You understand, drinking plenty of water, watching what I eat.
mm.
So everything is more of a holistic approach. So it's just not one thing in certain senses. Certain things, it's just a holistic approach. So it was what I need to put in my body, also what I was thinking. You understand, making sure that I'm getting a good quality amount of sleep. Just because you lay down don't mean you're getting good sleep. And so all these things we have to pay attention to, but that's the best way I can answer that question with the very limited about amount of information I have with that person.
Shay Amara. Someone says, do you recommend any cookbooks? And also, I take liquid echinacea every day. Is that okay?
It's excellent. Just make sure that when you're taking stuff like that, it doesn't have alcohol in it. You know,
Mm.
alcohol free. Stick with alcohol free echinacea. That is the most optimal thing to take. Put that cookbook up there, right? One more time. Put your
Oh
cookbooks up there,
yeah, oh
please.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I
This is
got
the
my.
cookbooks that I suggest. Can
All
you please
right.
tell them about
So
that one more time,
easy
please?
transformation manual. All right. This is for lifestyle changes. Okay. This has 15 plus ingredients and recipes for you for lunch, breakfast, dinner, things for children as well to help you make. It has terminology. This is a manual. It's not just a cookbook. It's a holistic manual. So it has different herb names of herbs, names of supplements, names of vitamins. It also has what to look for, what not to get at the store, and it has vegan replacements, okay, in here. So easy transformation. It's in my store. I reference Dr. Llaila Africa, Dr. Joelle Pookrum, Dr. Delbert Blair in this book. Those are my professors that have taught me along this way. So yes, those are the questions. We're gonna stop right there, Doctor. We done put in some great ministry work, on this high vibe conversation, and with this healing and wellness journey, and I'm so grateful.
I see www Llaila Africa is with a K and not with a C.
Okay, let me do this. www. Llaila.
IKA. Well, not quite.
Oh snap. Okay, www. Bear with me, y'all. I'm trying to type this in with these
Yeah,
phones.
it's okay. It's Llaila Africa with a K. So if you go and you look for any of his information, it's LailaAfrica.com. You'll see a picture of myself and Dr. Africa together. But it has been an extreme pleasure for you to allow me into your village. Thank you so much. And for all of those who are here with us, thank you so much for hanging in there and listening. And I pray that you can go back to your tribes and just try to encourage them to do better, because we're going into a new year, and I'm calling for us to raise the vibration. We got to start helping each other. It's time out for talking about each other and shading each other. It's time for us to start giving love. So if I start giving love, will you please start giving love, please? Can we start doing that to each other? And if you see somebody that's doing something they shouldn't be doing, just encourage them. Just encourage them. That's more effective than, being mean.
For sure, for sure. And we thank you for everyone who's asked questions. I know some of us, we couldn't get to your questions. If you have a chance to go on www.LailaAfrica.com, there's services there. Get your questions answered. Also, the holistic face reading is in Instagram only. It's not on the website. So for those of you who are asking and the questions about your face readings, it's on Instagram. Go to Instagram and access it there. We thank you so much, Dr.
You are so
Stevenson.
amazing.
Oh man,
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, and
You make me proud.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We're gonna send you good vibrations for your day. We know you got many other interviews, and you're gonna touch so many other people. So you all follow Dr. Llaila Africa in my village, and we're gonna get this right. We're gonna push and keep the torch that Dr. Llaila Africa has set. So we thank you for your energy, for your time, Dr. MElanie Stevenson.
Thank you. And I'm sending you a virtual hug, and everyone is there. I'm sending you a virtual hug. I love each and every one of you, and I wish everyone peace, love, and light.
All right. Peace.
Take care.
All right.